One Piece's Sanji's ultimate romantic technique, diable jambe. If we analyze this technique of igniting his leg through friction using 100% science, what would happen? First, for his shoes and pants to catch fire, they must reach their ignition point. Assuming Sanji's black suit pants are a cotton or polyester blend and his shoes are leather, a minimum temperature of around 300 degrees Celsius is required for spontaneous combustion to occur purely from heat without an open flame. Assuming room temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, he needs to instantly create a temperature change of 280 degrees Celsius through frictional heat. Let's assume the mass m of Sanji's shoes and the hem of his pants that need to be heated is about 1 kilogram, and the average specific heat capacity, C, of these materials is 1500 joules per kilogram per Kelvin. The thermal energy, delta Q, required to raise the temperature of this object by 280 degrees Celsius is calculated using the following formula. In other words, Sanji has to instantly smash 420,000 joules of energy into his shoes through rotation. 1 horsepower does about 746 joules of work per second. The fact that Sanji can produce 420,000 joules in just 1 second means he's pumping out an engine output of hundreds of horsepower. All by himself, you could say he's beyond a human Ferrari. He's a human space rocket.
So, how fast does he have to spin? Assuming Sanji's weight is 80 kilograms, the friction coefficient between his shoes and the floor is 0.6, and the rotation radius of his shoe tip is about 5 centimeters, 1 rotation would generate about 37.6 joules, considering half of the heat is lost to the ground. And to reach the target of 420,000 joules, mathematically, 11,170 rotations are required. Since he usually ignites the fire in 1 second, Sanji spins 11,170 times per second, which converts to 670,000 RPM. For reference, a jet engine runs at 30,000 RPM, meaning Sanji is spinning more than 20 times faster than a jet engine. Getting hit at this speed would probably hurt. What would happen in reality? First, Sanji would be disintegrated by centrifugal force. If we look at this rotational force as centrifugal force, Sanji's body would be subjected to hundreds of millions of G's of gravitational acceleration, inevitably causing his body to tear apart. Second is, of course, leg fractures. If at least the area from his lower leg to his femur faces this rotational force, the bones would already be pulverized to the point where a crematorium wouldn't even be needed. Lastly, there is air friction, which makes the previous two look like secondary issues. This rotation would cause a bigger problem than the friction with the atmosphere if Sanji were to dive from space to Earth. He would instantly be engulfed in plasma, turning him into black charcoal Sanji rather than black leg Sanji.
Can a leg that's actually on fire deal extra damage? Alright, let's say Sanji has survived all this destructive mechanical force. His bones are tougher than a titanium alloy, and his skin is stronger than the thermal tiles of a space shuttle. His foot is awesomely engulfed in flames over 300 degrees Celsius. If he kicks an enemy in this state, will the fire deal significantly more damage? First, there's the limit of contact time. This comes down to Fourier's law of heat conduction. If you've ever quickly pulled your hand away from a hot pot, you'll know this. You don't get a severe burn. Similarly, if Sanji can generate 670,000 RPM, his kick has already broken the sound barrier. When he lands that kick, the contact time with the opponent would be less than a few milliseconds, meaning there's literally no time for the heat to conduct into the enemy's body. Meanwhile, Sanji's leg is still burning.
Let's assume Sanji's leg, which is stronger than titanium, weighs 15 kilograms, and his kick travels at the speed of sound. The energy formula is as shown on the screen. This energy is equivalent to the destructive power of a 2,000-pound car crashing into you at 90 miles per hour. Before the enemy even has time to feel the burn, their bones and internal organs would be literally pulverized by the shockwave. Sanji enduring extreme physics to ignite his leg and kick his enemy is undeniably stylish, but it might be more practical to just pay respects to the opponent who was already obliterated by the blunt force of the kick itself.